Yo, 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 what's up? Hey, and by the way, first of all, welcome to the SIBA Network. I am your favorite commissioner, Feach 23. I'm joined by my very esteemed co-host of the show, Zig, with the sub right off the bat. Let's fucking go. My man Sav is here. He's going to be co-hosting this show, and I'm going to need him because I don't really know shit that goes on outside of SIBA, to be honest. Like, I do follow it. Don't get me wrong. I do follow the 2K League, a lot of shit that comes across my news feed. As you can see, I got my Twitter pulled up. I pulled up the 2K League playoff bracket. They're starting, bro, they're starting tomorrow. Holy shit, 26th to the 29th. This is for the big money. As you can see, 900K on the line. We're going to get into that money in just a moment. But I got a co-host here that knows shit a lot more than I do. Just a little brief description about this show. We're not talking SIBA. Like, we'll bring SIBA up in context, but we're not talking about the league. Like, if you're in the chat right now, bro, like, if you join in the chat, we'll take questions, but we want questions and comments for leagues outside of SIBA. We're not dedicating a whole fucking 5-hour show to it. Right now, it's an hour. If it grows and it gets popular, we'll feed the market. We'll give the market what it wants, right? We'll respond to market demand. But, we're talking about stuff that's going on outside of SIBA, outside of our stratosphere, which is a change of gears for me because, the whole SOE thing, it's all SIBA over everything and stuff. But, you got to realize that Pro-Am is Pro-Am, and we're just one league inside a whole universe, And there's a lot of things that goes on outside of SIBA. Pretty much 99% of the players that play here play elsewhere also. So this pertains to them as well. But, going forward, give me your results for your UPA affiliated leagues, other draft leagues that you think are important, even your overnights, middays. I know you hear me ridiculing that shit a lot, but we'll go over the results and everything like that. We're gonna start doing lists, and I promise you, when we do our list, we're gonna be watching the games. So it's gonna definitely be something. They're definitely gonna be in-depth lists. We're gonna explain every single person that makes like a top 10 or a top 5 at each position. And when we make these lists, we're not going to count SIBA. We're going to count because if I count SIBA, I'm going to be biased, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to have any bias here. So that's how we're going to go. Sav, my man, you still driving or you pulling up
Yo,
home?
yeah, I'm pulling up to the house now, getting out the car.
Hopefully he can bless us with his pretty face and get on the cam. But until then, right? Until then, hey, what's good, Nandy? I see Nandy Ross in the chat right now. Let's get this. Let's get this chat. Let's get the stream going, bro. Let's get a lot of people in here because we're doing something new, man. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely doing something new with this, and we're gonna have fun with this shit, man. I promise you guys, we're gonna have fun. So, Slim Jordy's here. So I got the 2K League graphic closers here. Everybody's jumping in. Listen, if you got something to say in the comments, bro, we'll take all questions and comments. BX King, hey, thanks for BX King showing up. That's my man Santos Slim. Real quick before we get started, and Coach Pill is now following. Hey, Coach, make sure you follow that up with a sub because we run ads here. I ain't rich like your boys. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But before I get
Yeah.
started, I just want to let you guys know from 7 to 8, we're going to do this outside of SIBA show. No. From 6 to 7 outside SIBA. From 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., it's going to be Pest and Hearn are going to be doing the Pest Report. From now on, if you want to get the Pest Report, you're going to have to tune into the show first. The Pest Report is not going to debut in the Discord. It's not going to debut on Twitter. It's going to be on the show first, so just tune in. He'll reveal it position by position, and we'll have a really good fucking conversation. And then 8:30 until whenever the games end, I'm going to be on. I haven't found a co-host for me yet, but I'll be on definitely from the SIBA Network doing the games. We're wrapping up our season. We only got a couple of days left in the regular season. We actually got tonight and tomorrow. And then at 9 o'clock on the SIBA Network, too, Santos Slim and Trent DF. Trent DF, the new hard-hitting superstar that we got. Right? They're going to be on the SIBA Network 2 live, wrapping up the high school regular season, which ends on Friday. So, Sav, first things first, the biggest news outside of SIBA, obviously the 2K League playoffs start tomorrow. I follow the league not as much as you do. I follow it peripherally, meaning what I see on Twitter. Plus, I talk a lot to Jay Keith. We got 2K League players in here. I root for the Pistons heavy. Right now, Pistons are the 3rd seed. That's Spammy's team. The Cavs are 4 seed. They got DJ on their team and shit. So looking right now at this bracket, two things I want to point out. Number one, Warriors game and won it last year. I just saw that.
Oh yeah.
They were last year's champion. Um, I know after a lot of bullshit trades that went down, I guess Warriors Gaming kind of tailor made their team to be like a super team now, so they can run through it again. What do you thought? Did they really go out of their way to build a super team? Like, all right, let me ask you this because you follow it more than me. That Warriors Gaming squad that everybody's predicting to run through this shit and take the money. Is that team primarily built through the draft, or did they have to do some patchwork after the draft to build it up?
We talk about the Warriors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Warriors. Nah, with the Warriors picking up seats last, with the season before last, like in the off season, and like that team right there is. I'm pretty sure the team's gonna stay together for a while. It's kind of like when Golden State started winning all that championships and stuff, like the actual NBA team, of Golden State. Like they
Right.
built their team from the ground up, and that's definitely what the Warriors did. They built their team from the ground up, and now it's showing. You
So
know,
they
it
didn't
just
have
took time for them to show
they didn't have any
the
trades.
all of
They didn't have any trades. They didn't make any big moves.
I mean, they picked up Cease, like I said a couple seasons ago. But yeah, like I said, picking up Cease, they won last year. I got them winning again this year. I don't see any team that's going to be able to compete with them. Um,
So what do you think about that? Because I got people in the chat saying Cease and Kenny were trades. Mama was from trade. So like it looks like three out of their five starters that are going to be on the court tonight were actually picked up after the draft. So
yeah, within the past, what 2 to 3 seasons, but the past 2 or 3 seasons. But think about it, like what happened, like the past 2 seasons. You know what I'm saying? All they did was just they picked up Cease, and then you got other teams that did this, that, and the other, still trying to figure out what they really want to do with their teams and all this other stuff. But I mean, that team right there is building a dynasty. They have built a dynasty. I mean, they have won the playoffs last season. They won the turn this season. And now they on a run to try to win the playoffs again. So that team right there had definitely built a dynasty the past 2 years.
So they're the number one seed, and they're obviously favored. Now you got the other side, number one seed, Heat Check. I don't really know. I know their coach just won Coach of the Year, so congrats to him. But from what I've known, from what I've spoken to people about the 2K League, the Heat are never really this good. They're never really threatened for a championship. Are they a legit one seed? They're on the other side of the bracket, right? They're in the East. Are they a legit? Do they have a legit shot at challenging the Warriors as a one seed?
I gotta give it to Famous. Shout out to Famous for being coach for making Coach of the Year for this season. I gotta give it to Famous though because there was people who gave him doubt because he had Hoodie Kai. Retaining Hoodie Kai was probably one of the things that people gave him doubt on. I'm not gonna say no names or
And
things like that, but
they did draft the real Tay, who, but next time he comes back to SIBA, he will be in college. He played his high school season with us here before he got drafted. So shout out to the real Tay, a SIBA player. So they do
yeah,
have him also.
yeah, picking up Tay too was kind of a questionable pick, but they definitely make it work. Shout out to Saucy too, because Saucy definitely he most improved
He
player.
got most
He's
improved.
the
I
glue of
saw
the
that.
team.
Well, yeah, I
I
saw that.
mean, Dietrich, like that team is solid. Like, and I definitely got to give Famous his kudos, his props to what he has done with Heat Check this season. So
Now listen, if it's not Spammy or DJ winning this shit, my favorite team to pick would be T Wolves. They got Tutak, who was here in SIBA, who got really his pro am launch, pro am career launched in SIBA, and Bear the Beast, one of my favorite guys, bro. Bear the Beast is by far one of my favorite guys. Um, so they'd be a team that I'd be rooting for heavy right now. Taking a look at these guys, you got, I think that's the Lakers at number 6. Who's that number 5? Is that Pacers at number 5? I don't know the logos
yeah,
by heart, but like, give me a low seed. Give me a low seed out of this entire bracket from Brooklyn to the Cavs, Wizards, Lakers, Pacers, even Bucks. Give me a low seed that you think has the ability to surprise people and go on a late playoff run. Is there any of the Are there any low seeds that could surprise people, or are these guys just in the tournament and they're just going to predictably get knocked out?
I'm gonna say the Bucks only because the Bucks have been there before. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
You
They
got
won the
Dimes who has
championship a couple of
definitely
years
he's a
ago.
gold medalist. Yes, Dimes has definitely been on the stage. You got Johnny Red who's definitely been on stage. You got Dawson's like that trio right there is definitely holding the Bucks together. I mean, they all three of them have been on stage before. They've been in the finals before. They're gold medalists. Like I mean, that's gonna be a team that I think would make a late playoff push for sure.
All right, so you got the Wizards here now. One team that's notably absent that I don't see, my man Dayfry, bro, and the Mavs. What happened to them this season? They're not in it at all.
Who they had? I think they made a late trade recently with fantasy season. I think they was just trying to find a niche with the guards and stuff. I mean, the Day Fry and the Cap thing is always gonna be a duo. I mean, they won with the Wizards, but I think they're just trying to find it all and put it all together. But they ain't get it this year, but I definitely think they're gonna make it a push for it next year for
Now
sure.
I'm gonna point something out, right? I'm gonna point something out. Like I said, I'm talking sports, guys. Just want to let everybody know on this stream. I get a lot of flack as a hater, whatever. I'm just here talking sports. I'd be talking this way if I was. You want to talk the NBA, NFL. If you want to see me really bash a team, talk about the Mets, who've been hot by the way, and I'm actually going to see them at Citi Field on Sunday. They've been really playing really well, but when I talk sports, I'm honest. I point things out, right? Think of me like a Meg Francesa. Think of me like a Stephen A. Smith or a Mad Dog Russo. Not going to sugarcoat things. This big money right here, 900 grand on the line. That's a lot of money. Would you say that's a lot of money?
Mm. I mean, yeah, I can say that.
It's a lot of
Yeah,
money. It is
yeah,
450
yeah.
grand to the champions. But one thing that I will tell you about that money, it's down from last year. It's not a good sign for a league where there's a lot of speculation of whether or not it's going to survive. A lot of people complaining that the league is not pulling the numbers on social media that it's supposed to. The players themselves don't really promote it that well. So when I took a look at this, I'm going to tell you right now, when I took a look at this, right, and I started doing some research for today's show to talk about the playoffs in the 2K League, and I saw that there was 900 grand on the line and 450,000 to the champs, and I think 180 grand to the runner-ups. I looked at those numbers and I was like, holy shit. There's no way this league is going anywhere, bro. Like that's. I was about to start the show like, hey, the champions get damn near $500,000, and then I talked to Jay Keith on the phone, and he's like, yeah, it was down from last year. It was like over $1 million. There was like 500 something. It was like 500 grand to the champs last year, and I'm sitting
Yeah.
there like, wait a second, Billy Costa just subbed, so Billy Costa got $6 to sub, yet the 2K leagues got to lower their grand prize. Bro, that's going on everywhere, even in Pro-Am, bro. How many fucking leagues in Pro-Am are fees going up, championship pots going down? What was the league where everybody complained it was $750 for a championship when they paid $75 to get in? And now even at the highest level, the money's down. Are you reading into that at all? Is there anything to see out of that, or am I just like being conspiracy theorist right now?
Nah, I've been seeing the same stuff across Twitter. People talk about like how the league is not doing this or not doing that, and the league is not going to be here next season, things like that. I mean, you're on to something. I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Bucks,
Uh,
listen, even Buck had $6, bro. You know what I'm saying? The 2K League's got to hire these guys, bro, because if these guys got the money to fucking sub to this channel, they got to figure out something with the finances, bro. I mean, you can't, listen, in my opinion, you can't go down in the cash prize year after year. You can't go backwards, bro. Like, staying the same, honestly, between me and you, if that cash prize stayed the same last year as it did this year, right? I would
yeah.
say, hey, they didn't move up anywhere. The cash prize stayed the same. They did
So
add. Go ahead,
what
man.
do what do you what do you think will fix that? Like, what do you think will fix like like I guess like the viewership and people being more involved in the 2K league?
Well, I'm glad you asked because me and Jay Keith had a nice like 30-minute conversation about that, and I'll give you my thoughts. So first things first, what I would do is I definitely would not cut costs and lower the championship pot. This number cannot go down. If you're not ready to, if you can't put your money where your mouth is, then it's over for you. This can't go down from season 6. Is this season 7 of the 2K League? You can't go, and you're only in season 7. I mean, the league's only been around for 7 years. It's a baby. It is still it's in its infancy, bro. Look, players that played in season 1 championship are still young. Like, they're still in their, if you were 20 years old when you got into the league in season 1, you're still in your 20s. You're not even old. You're not even as old as I am, bro. Like, so it's too young of a league to go down from season 6 to season 7 and take 100 grand off the total. So number one, that number right there, what I would do is if I really believed in the product and the things were going to turn around, I would never this would never go down. This would either if it stayed the same, I'd be disappointed in myself. If I was running a league or if I was invested in the 2K league at all and this number stayed the same, I would be disappointed. I would feel like we stayed stagnant, we didn't improve at all. The fact that it went down is terrible. It's terrible. So number one, if it was me and I wanted to make a change, I don't give a fuck if I'm in the red. I'm pouring. Listen, I'm doing what Elon Musk did with Tesla. I'm pouring money into that bitch until it finally turns a profit, and I'm not going down on that cash prize by any means. Now, what would I do to increase viewership? Sev,
Yeah,
this year was Celtics and Mavs in the finals. You know, this is one of the lowest viewed NBA finals in the history of the sport. One of the
that's
worst.
definitely what I heard.
You know
Yeah,
what?
that's what I heard.
Did you know, right, that a Thursday night football game does more viewers than any game of any NBA finals? And then when you think about it, what do you think about it this way? WNBA has the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese saga, whichever side of the fence you fall on that, doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is there's a lot of attention now on women's basketball and the WNBA, and they still came out with a $50 million loss. That league's still losing money despite all the new attention and merchandise and the fact that stadiums are getting sold out when Caitlin Clark comes in. They're still losing money. So
Yeah,
you have the
yeah,
real life sport. You have the NBA, you have the NBA and the WNBA. Viewers are down. Nobody's watching the games. Damn sure nobody's going to these NBA games, right?
yeah.
Except for the Knicks. I mean, the Knicks they always damn near sell out. We're in New York City, but everywhere else, attendance is down, viewership is down, especially in the finals, right? And
Right.
WNBA with all these new attention still losing money. What makes you think that the virtual side of the sport, the video game of the sport, is going to be an esport that is going to like, I don't know, knock it out the park with views? And be something where it's going to be so in demand. If the actual sport doesn't really is kind of lagging behind and getting lower. So right there off the bat, you have to. If I was in charge, right, you would have to think that you have to figure out why America in general is consuming the sport of basketball itself less. And are
Yeah,
you going after basketball fans or video game fans or esports fans? Because I'll tell you the one thing that there's only one thing in its current state that can save the 2K league right now, and that's sports betting. That's it. Open up the books, let people bet on it. Put it on fucking DraftKings. Get people to bet on the games, and people will watch. So that's right
I
there.
agree.
I would open up whatever I would have to do to get people to bet on the. You'll get the degenerate gamblers watching the games. I mean, look at 1v1 me. It's on a smaller scale. The kid's over there doing well. The kid who runs it, he's making a ton of money there. There's so many people, and it's not just NBA 2K. It's all these other games. They
Yep.
get millions and millions of dollars worth of wagers every month.
Yeah.
So
Even like that sports app, sports betting app Underdog, like Valorant and League of Legends and things like that. Like you can bet on
hold
those
on one
games. I
second. My wife is
definitely.
interrupting everything. What's up? My wife's gonna burn the house down with the barbecue, so you gotta hold on for 1 second. I'll be right back.
All
Guys,
right.
my wife wanted to grill some sausage and peppers, and she thought she was good enough to do it. Give me 1 second.
All right. That ain't good. Back then tripping, yeah. I agree. What questions y'all got, man? Y'all want to talk about season for a second? Wait on Feach. I think, I think if Brandon Ruckers don't bring it home, I think that Golden Orange team is not actually bad either. If it ain't Brandon Ruckers, then it I mm, hey, who's stopping the 5 out? Didn't y'all win one, Jordan? I think y'all won one game, didn't y'all? Hold on, let me see. I think I turned myself up. Stream volume. Bill. Yo, what's up, Zay? What's up, Hoodie? Zay, B, Sandy. Who beating this 5 3 times? Now, I do got to see Glaciers of Ice with Zay on it, and Sandy as shooting guard. But I think when we played y'all, it was just different. We went with an AI, but we ain't gonna talk about that though. Who making finals from both sides of the 2K league right now? You know the Warriors coming out. Warriors coming out the West. Mm, I, I, yeah. I'm gonna say Warriors and Heat check gaming, but I wouldn't be mad if the Celtics came out on top of that. Um, the way the Celtics been trying to push, like I like the coat that they got going on. Like I like coat as a center. So with the Warriors coming out the West,
Sorry about that, guys. So anyway, I says to my wife earlier, I says, "Listen, you want she wants sausages and peppers on the grill. I just bought a new grill, and I told her, listen, I got a show at 6 o'clock. I'm running out of time. Don't worry, I'll do it. Don't worry about it. I'll clean the grill off. I'll do the sausages, the peppers, everything. Just show me how to work the grill." I said, it's easy if you never worked a fucking grill before, right? First of all, I told her grill's a man's job. You can try to cancel me for that if you want, but I always thought that, listen, me and you understand, right? When was the last time you saw a woman behind the grill? Grills are usually a man's thing. Like, when was the last time you went to a barbecue and there was a woman behind the grill with an apron on? It's usually us guys that are doing it, right? So I said, listen, you open the fucking valve on the propane tank, right? Wait a second or two.
yeah.
You're going to hear it when it opens, and then the knobs click. It'll create a spark. It'll start the flame. Each one. I don't know what I'm doing. So she comes in here, but I see her on the camera, and she's running down the stairs on my camera, and then she runs in the house. All of a sudden, she starts screaming, banging on the fucking studio door. I go out there. All I smell is gas. All I smell is gas. The fucking propane tank wasn't even open. She didn't even turn the knob on the propane tank to open the fucking thing. She's like, yeah, I'm clicking, but I don't want to burn. I smell. I said, you don't smell gas because there's no gas coming out of there. You never open the fucking tank. Crazy, bro. And I was like, I told you earlier, it's a man's job to grill. You know what I'm saying? But now I see her on the camera. She's working the grill, dancing to her music. Everything's going fine. Hopefully she doesn't fuck up the sausage and peppers, and we have a good dinner. But anyway, I know I missed the whole monologue that you were saying, but let me get back to what I was saying before. I think I lost my train of thought. But I was talking about the viewership. That's right. We're talking about the viewership of the sport in general. So the first thing I would do, I would open up the betting. I would open up sports betting. Second thing, and this is going to be my opinion. We talked about the trades earlier. We talked about how the Warriors gaming, they built their little, they have a powerhouse team. They built it through trades. You know how I am as a commish. If I was in charge of that league, I would tell everybody straight up, season 8 coming up, you're not getting any trades. Build your team through the damn draft, and make sure you draft play. Make sure you do your due diligence. You scout these players, and you get guys that want to be there, that are happy there. Don't draft players that then, after a while have the. I mean, you're seeing 4-team trade. Where the fuck do you ever see a 4-team trade anywhere? Because what were the teams that had the 4-team trade? If you can't remember, maybe someone from the chat can remember. I think I saw Eyeball Spam get traded like fucking 2 times in the same off season. Some guys got. I thought I saw DJ get traded like twice. Some guys getting traded 2 or 3 times the same season. That's nuts. How do you have a 4-team trade? You know what a 4-team trade tells me? A 4-team trade tells me that none of these GMs know what the fuck they're doing. And they got to get together and figure out how they're going to rearrange everything to make sure that their teams are, are going to be good enough to compete. And,
Yeah.
and yeah, User Burner says in the chat, Spam got traded twice here too. You're gonna compare SIBA to the 2K. The 2K, that's the pros, man.
And then you also have players who say that hey, there are GM/coaches who don't know what they're doing. So like things like that, yeah, it definitely shows when you have GMs who try to or coaches who try to basically cover themselves up by drafting bad by trying to make these wild ass trades and trying to cover their tracks. But in all reality, it still just shows that you really don't know what you're doing. So yeah, I definitely
Now,
yeah, for sure.
listen, what bothers me about that, I'll tell you what bothers me about that. And this is not a SIBA show. You know what I'm saying? This is outside SIBA. But you do have SIBA here where you can recruit guys and see what they look like in a setting where, they don't get to control where they go. Instead, what did we get as far as scouting goes? You got the UPAs, which is a great example of some of the best players in the world on the amateur level playing there, right?
Yep.
But you got overnights and you got middays and you got players not being loyal to brands and teams players jumping ship going to wherever they feel like whatever org or jersey or set of teammates can get them where they need to be. And that's not indicative of what's going to happen to you in the pros. What happens to you in the pros is you get drafted to a team and you're going to join a locker room where there's already players there. And you got to fit in. And they're going to be paying you money and they're going to fly your ass out and they're going to do what? They're going to fucking, they're going to pay for you to live. They're going to pay for you to have benefits and stuff like that, medical benefits, whatever the case may be. And there's no jumping teams. There's no going on Twitter saying, yo, I got snaked. That's the way it is. So the whole scouting, the whole way these 2K League GMs scout talent is fucking completely ass backwards. It's like you're not really seeing these players in the environment that you need to see them in. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and especially
All right.
overnights and midday tournaments are fucking useless to scout. Come on, they're useless as hell to scout. So you
So
got, yeah.
why do you think middays and overnights are useless?
Because let me tell you something. There's no listen. The closest you get to actually scouting players in a competitive environment is when they play for their teams like Zero Gaming. Like when you coach Glow Navy in a 3v3. These guys represented a brand. These guys stuck together. No, there was not a lot of roster movement. You guys went in person together as a squad. When you have these overnights and midday tournaments, they're just players thrown around. They're thrown around. They don't even they're getting sponsored. They're not even putting their own money. They got no skin in the game. Nobody's really repping a brand and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one. You're talking about a one night tournament with 7 or 8 teams. Everybody's got to stay up late. Teams not showing up. Teams showing up 2 hours after. Like it's a whole fucking mess. I mean, the actual overnight and midday product itself is great for Pro-Am, but if you're scouting at the highest level, bro, you're looking at that shit and you're really saying, "Wow, man, we got to pick this dude up. He won the UPAs and he's always on the midday and overnight screenshots winning games. Holy shit, we got to go get him." Now you're taking a look at what the fucking product looks like, and it's terrible. You got 4-team trades, 3-team trades, guys getting traded 2 or 3 times in the same offseason. It's fucking nuts. You know what I'm saying? So obviously the way you scout, first and foremost, the way these guys are actually scouting together, you know what I'm saying, and scouting their players is ass backwards. It's just it's counterintuitive to what you're trying to do. And then I know you've seen this too. You see players on Twitter complaining about the team they're on, talking about
Yep.
they're being held hostage. Bro, listen to me. Let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something. If you're a 2K League GM that's either listening live or going to catch this later on YouTube, or if you're a 2K League player, especially the GMs, let me talk to you guys for a second. And I told this to Jay Keith. If you have a player, if there are players at the 2K League level, and they use the word hostage to describe their situation, and you draft that player, shame on you. That player doesn't belong anywhere near a 2K League roster. They don't belong anywhere near a 2K League arena, a controller, nothing like that. I mean, you're at the highest level. You got drafted. You're one of the top, 60 to 70 players in the fucking world. Everybody who plays this game wants to get there. And you get there and you describe your situation as a hostage? Really? You're getting paid. If you think you're a fucking hostage, you know what you should do? Get the fuck off and let somebody who's starving that wants to be there play. I think the biggest problem with the 2K League, why the fan base doesn't really connect with this league, is because these players, the player base is so out of touch with the fan base that plays this game. Like, bro, how many times have you seen these rec randoms, these rec warriors don't respect Benzo. They don't respect any of these guys. Tutok and Gazuli. I've seen it myself in tens lobbies. The randoms, and there was a whole beef. Oh, the randoms don't respect us. The randoms think that they're better, blah, blah. They think that they could be. The randoms don't respect your game. They don't even like watching the 2K League game. They don't like watching or even playing Pro-Am at the highest level. Why? Because it's all you do is left, right. All you do is pick and roll. All you do is, it's all... The random players that make the money for this game, the tens, the hundreds of thousands of players that load up all the time and buy VC and play in the rec and play in the park, bro, they don't even respect the way the game is played at the highest level. They don't find it entertaining. They don't find it. The league has a big problem with its players not being in touch. Now, what is the solution? Oh, should we play like randoms? No, you shouldn't play like randoms, but I'm going to tell you right now, if these top-level players who are playing fucking post-draft and playing fucking leagues and overnight tournaments, instead of going out and being in the communities and reaching out to local and creating content for the league itself, if you got guys there that are not grateful, it doesn't matter how fucking good they are. Get these motherfuckers out of the league and start putting players in that'll be grateful as hell, that want to be there. I would really consider lowering the skill level of the players in the 2K League, and instead of drafting the players that you think have the best stick skills, go with the players who can knock it out the park on an interview and seem starving, and seem hungry, that are willing to do whatever. Like, I guarantee, Sav, you know this too, I guarantee you there's a fucking ton of guys in SIBA that if they had the opportunity to go to 2K League right now, they would jump at the chance. And if you told them, listen, if you come to this league and play here, we want you Monday through Friday. You're not on your Xbox at night playing fucking overnight tournaments. We want you at a kid's hospital, at a school, doing neighborhood cleanups, doing whatever, you know what I'm saying, outreach, doing some advertisements, you know, and we're gonna you know, spread awareness. They will be happy to do it. Instead, a lot of these players in this league just going back to their apartments, whatever, and just lounging out on the couch, loading up and playing fucking Apex, or even worse, playing a 2K, a Pro-Am league. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like you got players that are just not, they don't really appreciate the opportunity they have. And I feel like if you get players that are excited as fuck, then that excitement is contagious. You know what I'm saying? That excitement is contagious. Motion creates emotion. So if you have these players that are happy as hell to be there, and they are fucking, you know, I see it all the time, bro. I see Cooks Iverson complaining all the time on Twitter. Yo, you got how many players in the league, and this fucking post with the 2K League only has 13 retweets. Bro, I may not really, I'm not too fond of the dude, but he's right. He's fucking on the money. These guys aren't even, these guys aren't even passionate about the league. So what would make me be passionate? I went on one of those speakeasies one day, right? And they had this conversation. By the way, those speakeasies are cool. But they're a 2K League speakeasy doing 120, 130 people on Twitter. That's twice as many as I get, and I'm a regular league, bro. These guys should be, I'm seeing, if I go to Twitter right now and I take a look at the side right here, if there's a fucking, there's nothing on right now, but sometimes I'll go take a look at this part of Twitter right here, and I'll see some spaces going on, and I'll see a space for like Madden or like football, and I'll see 500 people in there. And you got the professionals, bro. The professionals only fucking doing like 150. There's no interest there, bro. Like, it just seems like there's no fucking interest there. There's not enough. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
they got to.
and
What would you do? Like,
I agree with you.
what do you think's the problem? Like, what would, if someone said, "Yo, Sav, we are fucking giving you the keys." What is your first step as commish to make a change there? I gave you what I thought. I want to hear what you think.
100% think that sports betting should be involved in it. I feel like there's another path to revenue. You get more people watching the games. You will get, of course, more money into the league, and I feel like it'll push towards that passionate players, if that makes sense. Because you got people putting money on you, and of course you got those who want to, do the opposite and try to, suck or do whatever the fuck and try to win money. But yeah, I think they're pushed towards the passionate player from the passionate player standpoint because people will start being more passionate about their team. They'll start trying to get better, especially
Right.
if you putting up 25 points a game. You got to be able to do that every night because if I'm betting on you, I'm expect for you to put up 25 points a game if you putting up 25 points a game every night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the other thing is I will push for teams to do more content. There's like only a few teams in the league that actually do content for it. Like
Danny Beast is great at
people
that, by the way. He's a natural at that shit, bro. Honestly, he's a natural at
yeah,
that.
yeah.
If they had 50 more Bear Beasts in that league, we wouldn't even been having this conversation right now about the league, bro. That league would be fucking. And
Yeah.
listen, the proof is in the pudding with that kid Colt. He went viral for screaming and shit, and it went everywhere. And it's so crazy, bro. Like
Yeah.
that's the universe
They're
telling. Isn't that the universe telling you, like, bro, this is
yeah.
what is entertaining, and they don't capitalize on
There,
that shit at all.
and there's content creators outside of the league that should be signed to teams in the league to help build their content, to help build their rapport of their team. Like some of these content creators, like I seen who was that guy? They were signed with the Bucks for like a year. It's a big I forgot his name, big bald head guy. They used to play in SIBA, but things happen. But
Oh, gotcha.
anyway, I forgot his name. I can't think of his uh Bullet. Bullet, he got signed. He signed with the Bucks for like a year last season, and he was streaming like what I'm saying, content creating for the Bucks and things like that.
Right.
And like those, like people like that should be signed to teams. Like there are more streamers out there who should be signed to these 2K League teams that
But you
help
know what's gonna
build that content.
happen with that though, because Jay Keith told me down the phone. He said there's rumblings about pushing teams to draft a guy like Joe Knows or someone like Bullet. You know what I'm saying? Or double any one of these 2K content creators that can bring in. There's two things wrong with that. Number one, it's hard to convince Joe Knows that he's got to pick up what he's doing and leave his family and go play the game when he's making a shit ton of money from the comfort of his own home, playing whatever the fuck he wants, playing overnights and middays and UPAs, winning his little couple of $1,000 every time he wins a tournament here and there. Like, it's hard to convince somebody like that who he's with his family every day and he doesn't need the money. And he obviously doesn't need the 2K League. They need him way more, right? That's
Yeah,
number one. And number two, what you're going to get is you're going to get the pro-am community all upset. Like, why the fuck is Bullet on? Bullet sucks. I mean, he was in SIBA College. He averaged 6 turnovers a game. He looked like fucking Daniel Jones throwing interceptions every game. Like, you put a player like that who's fucking terrible at 5v5 pro-am and put him in a league and watch him stink it up, you're going to piss off your entire pro-am community. You're going to piss off the comp community. Like, how the fuck did he get there? Why? Because he pulls 600 viewers on Twitch? You gave him a fucking spot that he didn't earn? Think of all the fucking content creators and streamers. There's only one streamer. There's only one content creator that's actually good enough to play in the league, and that's Joe Knows. Have not seen another content creator, to be honest, that's up there that is actually deserves to be drafted over some of these guys that were drafted. So that's a big
but what
problem
I'm
also.
what I'm saying is like they don't necessarily have to play. They can like I tuned into the Nets GC stream one time,
Right?
and one of their staff members was actually like talking on like commentating on the stream during their game during their series because their game wasn't broadcast on the big screen on 2K League. They was talking. I think it was like on alternate one or two, whatever. But they was on there like showing the viewers like their fan base like, hey, here's the Nets GC game. I get it. You don't want to watch the main game, boy. Here's our team on our channel. Like that's basically what I'm getting at. Like they don't have to play. Content creators don't have to play. But what I'm saying is they can get on there. They can talk to their fan base. Get a commentary, answer questions and things like that. And maybe they can do their. I mean, I see people talk about doing more listenings and things like that. Maybe they can get insight on the listenings. I mean, get
That's
video
big
and do
also.
things like that.
The listen-ins are good because I'll tell you what, people like unfiltered, uncensored content, bro. They like unscripted shit. That's what they like. That's what when you're watching sports. That's like the whole mic'd up thing with the NBA. The whole mic, it's fun as hell when you listen to players like in baseball mic'd up, football, hearing fucking Ray Lewis talk his shit. It's fucking fun as hell. And there's just not enough of that in the 2K League, bro. They don't give you that content side. That's big also, you know. So I mean,
Yeah.
listen, I agree with you spot on about everything you said, except for the whole content creator thing. Like, I don't think putting them on the court is going to solve anything. If they're just going to be like a commentator and just create, they're just going to be like a circus act, like a sideshow. No one's going to listen. At the end of the day, you got to get people that are going to watch this league because they like the sport, they like the esport, they want to watch the basketball games. You know what I'm saying? They feel like they're in touch with the players, and that's another thing too. Like, people take a look at these players, they don't see themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't somebody said in the chat, there's no clear path for the average player to get to the 2K league. First of all, let me explain something to you guys. If you think that there should be a clear path for the average gamer to get to 2K league, you're out of your fucking mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, the average 2K league player has no business anywhere near that's like saying, hey man, if you want to create more attention for the NBA, these NBA scouts should be going to your local fucking YMCA and playground and getting those guys in there. You're out of your mind. You got to get the most talented players. Period. Now, if you have these talented players and they're not really doing anything to promote the league, then you can go with the next less crop of talented players that are hungry as fuck. Me, in my opinion, I think you go hungry over talent, but the average 2K league player shouldn't have a clear path to the 2K league.
Right.
They got to be able to work at it because these guys work at it every day. I saw how hard Gazuli worked when I was sponsoring OPM a couple years ago. I saw how hard he worked. He was on that game fucking 24/7. Every fucking day, playing, working on his game. I'm going to bring up something that everybody hates, working the chats, right? Rubbing shoulders
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and getting to know who they got to know. And that's all part of the process too, right? So these guys are putting in that work, and you want to give a clear path to people who just load up after work? You know what I'm saying? Like, who just load up whenever,
Yeah.
just run into the wreck without a squad? Come on, bro. That's not fair to the guys that work hard, you know?
To be honest, I feel like there's no clear path. I mean, I get it. You got UPA who do their in person event, everything under UPA like WRSL, MPBA, and things like that. But if it was me and I was in the 2K league and I was coaching, I'll be looking at everything from that, aside from that as well. I mean, what content are you making? You know what I'm saying? How are you talking to player? Like, your to me, professionalism is the number one thing. I
Hey,
mean,
listen, bro. They
I'm
can
a living professional.
they can come
So
to us, right? They can go, yo, Feach. How are these guys in SIBA? Are they
yeah,
quitters? Are they, Are they, I'll give them the inside scoop on the character of a lot of these guys. I would, you know what I'm saying? So nobody's come up to me, but we do have coaches that play. We do have Stam and Jay Keith, and I'm in constant contact with them. And anybody, listen, if you play in SIBA, bro, and you're that good at the game, but your character in SIBA sucks, you could scratch off at least one NBA 2K League team off the list because we have a coach that
exactly.
plays here. You know what I'm saying? Now listen, if you had more 2K League coaches that came into this league that we run and really dug deep into this, right? And saw, wow, you know what I'm saying? This fucking league really is a microcosm of what we do, right? These coaches, you know what I'm saying? These players, the way these coaches got to work a waiver wire to draft, or the way these players got to get drafted and they got no say in where they go, and they got to show up and make it work with their team. Holy shit, how are they performing here before we even start paying them money to play this game and invest in them financially? How are they doing it over here first? And if they
Right.
can't get it done from the comfort of their own home in a league like SIBA, there's no way in fucking hell that I should, if I'm a 2K League GM, there's no way in fucking hell I should then go and draft this dude and invest money into this guy and put my job on the line. Now, on the outside, let me ask you this question, because you're a community coach, and I'm pretty sure you got goals one day to get in there as a coach. And I honestly, with the quality of coaches that they got by default, I think you should be there. But what do you think about this? Coaches don't lose their job nearly enough in that league. Now, you said it yourself, right? What did you say earlier? You said, a lot of players feel like these coaches don't know what they're doing, these GMs don't know what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. What do you think about that? Coaches don't lose their jobs nearly enough. Uh-oh, did I lose him? Oh, he's muted right now. Maybe he's got a lot of background noise. But anyway, he's
No, I
muted.
got you. I'm here.
Yeah, so what do you think about that? Coaches, you said it earlier. You said something earlier that Even a lot of players feel like the coaches don't know what they're doing. There's a big consensus going on where a lot of people feel like these 2K League coaches, and GMs are fucking lost in the sauce. What do you think about that? 2K League coaches have too much job security.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, first and foremost, I'm gonna say I'm not the best coach, but I damn sure ain't the worst. All right. But what I will say is that, like, yes, there's some of these coaches are not being GMs are not being held accountable to the standard that the league needs to uphold. If that makes sense. I mean, you
I'm
got
not.
players who get suspended left to right for this, that, and the other, but you don't see anything or rarely see things about coaches, what I'm saying, not taking care of players or not even just that. I mean, you can literally see the product that they put out there on the floor. Or I even heard players talk about how some of these coaches really don't even coach. They just put the players out there and expect a player coach
Well,
to coach the team 100% of the time.
you see that in SIBA a lot,
So
right? You see the coaches they just go into coach. They don't even go in coaches chat. They just send their
yeah,
assistant coach in there.
yeah,
Breezy Live makes a point. He says if you drop a guy like Spam, at what point guard in post draft right now you're replacing him with? My thing, and guys will ask you to
yeah,
call out names. I tell you right now, Sav is not the person that's going to call out names. I will call out names. He knows names right now. Like he knows what coaches he's talking about. I don't know the league that well, but the more I follow it, the more I'll know. I'll be the one to drop the names and jump on that grenade for everybody else. Trust me when I tell you. But I'm not going to push it unless Sav wants to be on the record and name names. I don't think he's going to do it. But as far as like what Breezy Live was saying, bro, like what point guard are you going to play Spam with? Bro, listen. At the end of the day, I have a thing that I always say in SIBA as a coach. Listen, I can lose with you, I can lose without you. So if you got a player like Spam and you're losing, right, and you feel like, listen, he's not bringing that attitude to the team like we want. He's not bringing the content like we want. It doesn't seem like, and I don't know. I'm not saying that it's like that. I'm not saying somebody just brought his name up, so I'm just using it as an example. I'm not saying that he's not excited. I'm not saying anything like that. What I'm saying is if you have a player that's like, he's a top-notch player, he's known, and it's just not working out with him, and he doesn't have the best of attitudes, and you're losing, you could lose with him or you could lose without him. You can go and get a player off the free agent scrap heap in post draft on airdrop, and you know what? You may not get a player that matches that talent level, but you're going to get somebody in there that's got the right attitude, that's excited, right? That's going to promote your team. That's going to be just, that personality is just going to be infectious, right? He's going to walk into that locker room. He's going to walk into that apartment, that group of guys who are like, yo, I'm happy to be here. I know the record's not good right now, but let's go out there. Let's play with some pride, get some wins, and let's play spoiler. Like me personally, like when I was playing, like when I was doing the SIBA thing, or even outside of SIBA, when I was playing sports and we weren't in the playoffs, like I was motivated even if my team sucked just to ruin the fucking chances of a good team making the playoffs. Like my whole thing was, yo, you're gonna clinch the playoffs, that's fine, but you ain't gonna do it against us, not today. You're gonna clinch the playoffs. We're gonna be at home for the playoffs, but you're not doing it in our building. You're not doing it against us. We're not gonna roll over. That was my motivation. And if you're on a bad team, whether you're a bad team in SIBA, whether you're on a bad team, I mean, I can't really use examples outside of SIBA and these other leagues because the regular season doesn't matter over there. Everybody makes a tournament. But if you're on a bad team in the 2K league, bro, and you having a hard time motivating yourself to get on that game and take another ass beating, bro, just get up and tell your teammates, bro, listen, we suck this season and we're not making the playoffs. But I guarantee you right now, nobody else is making the playoffs on our watch.
Are you on camera?
Yes.
I don't want it. Here you go.
yeah. Breezy, you do got a valid point about like
So I'll send you. Oh,
GMs don't want to get fired, so they let players decide things. Yeah, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with letting players decide things, but at the same time, you still have to do your job as a GM and coach. Like I always go by the motto:
What's that motto?
five good, a good team is better than five great players. All right, a good team is better than five great players. And Kingswood to tell you, I mean, yeah, everybody know, yeah, I reckon Kingswood, and, what I'm saying, coaching their BYOT and coaching MNC and things like that. But Kingswood bring me ideas. We talk about it, but we compromise it in. Like, hey, you might think this is good, but here's what I see going on, and I'm gonna keep it real with them because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Now, granted, I'm gonna try to lean towards, what I'm saying, try to make my player happy. But at the same time, I also gotta think what's best for the team. You know what I'm saying? I also have to put myself in a position to put the team to win in the championship. Just because a player wants this player doesn't mean you have to pick up that player. Because most of the people in SEBA try to play with their players, try to play with their friend, and you see how that ends up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them don't even win. So you gotta start thinking like, hey. I got to put the team in a position to win a championship. Granted, you still got to look out to build the chemistry and other things on top of it. There's nothing wrong with that. But you, as a coach, can't just force because, like some coaches do, they force things and things go sideways because like they're not being held accountable to what they did wrong. Instead of just talking to their player, figuring out what's what, trying to come up with an idea, use their critical thinking skills because that's what coaches are supposed to do, and come up with a solution for it to make ends meet. So
Well, that's a lot of wisdom there, and to be honest, like you figure if you're a coach at the top level, that shit should already be built in. By the way, real quick, my wife did a good job with the sausage and peppers. At the end of the day, this is real good shit. So hats off to Pickles for the not burning the house down and making a pretty good sausage and pepper on the grill. But when you get to that top level of coaching, bro, that listen. They have the saying, "Dress for the job you want, not the job you have." I feel like if you should be coaching for the job you want, not the job you have, right? So I have it like my thing is like community coaches. I don't know what really prepares a community coach to coach in the 2K league. They're not really doing anything. You're not really looking at a draft board. You're not restricted to who you can draft and pick up and free and stuff. I don't know. I think where the coaches are coming from is an issue also, bro. Like the quality of coaches and GMs in the league really, I mean, it really has to step up, to be honest. And you can't. I'm gonna sell this right now. This is my message to the 2K league GMs out there. You guys got to band together as a brotherhood and make a decision. The inmates are not gonna run this asylum. If a player is on Wizards Gaming, for example, and they're not happy to be there, and they don't want to play for Wizards Gaming, then they don't play for anybody. That's it. Coaches and GMs should be making moves and trades because they see a move that's going to help each team. Not because, I got a problem over here. This dude doesn't want to play for us. You want to take him off my hands. He's a can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when I was at the
yeah,
2K League draft a couple of years ago, bro, there was a player, and I forgot who it was. He said, yo, if you're not the Pacers or the Grizzlies, don't draft me. I'm not playing for you. And, bro, I think the Pacers drafted him. And I was like, bro, are you serious right now? Like, how you can't, bro, you do that in SIBA, you're off the draft board, you're done. But when there's $1 million cash prize on the line, when it's a professional league, you let a player manipulate the draft board like that? Are you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I tell you right now, I was sitting there with Ev, and I was like, bro, is that the dude that just got, he said, yeah. I was like, bro, that's the dude that made that ultimatum. He said, yep, and he got drafted to the team that he said he wanted to go to. Bro, at that draft, right then and there, I was like, bro, this league is fucking, bro, this league is, it's on borrowed time. It really is, bro. Like, how the fuck can you do that?
here's the other thing though, Feach. I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I see people talk about like, well, teams shouldn't have coaches, whether it's a community team, whether it's a 2K league team, they shouldn't have coaches. How do you feel about
A 2K league team shouldn't have a coach.
it? Just teams in general, community team, 2K league team, like coaches shouldn't be a thing for a virtual video.
Um, well, you see in SIBA, and I'm sorry to talk in my mouth full,
No,
but
you good.
this is good sausage. You see in SIBA, the coaches do a lot, bro. They scout. First of all, the 2K league, you got to scout players. You got to scout talent, right? You got, not every player can coach. Not every player is built to teach. You have to have someone who has the patience, right? The patience and the state of mind to be a teacher, not just a player, So you see it in the 2K league, you see it in SIBA, right? What do our
Yeah,
coaches do? What do their coaches do? Well, they're scouting. They're getting ready for the draft. You get a draft position. All right, we're picking 18th. All right, cool. So at that draft position, there's a whole slew of players that are not going to be available to you at 18. You're not going to get the best players, right? So now you got to set your expectations realistically. You got to find those players that you feel are going to fall into that draft position and interview them, scout them, run games with them, figure out what they're about, and you have to have one guy that's making that decision that the buck stops with you, and that's going to be the coach, right? You got to have a voice that's not on the. Sometimes having a voice that's not on the court, and I think this is what you do best. You're not on the court, So you're able to see the game from a bird's eye view. You're not emotionally. You're not the one throwing the interception. You're not the one bricking 3 wide open shots in a row because you're having a bad game. You're not the one getting your snatch blocked and shit like that. You're not the one that's got 5 fouls in the third quarter. You don't have those emotions running from you, so you can just take a look from a bird's eye view and see what's going on, right? Every team's going to need that voice to be like, yo, guys, bring it in. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what you guys did wrong. Here, you got, everybody needs that voice that's going to bring everybody together. That's not on the court, that has a bird's eye view of it, that can give an honest analysis, bro. Everybody needs that. Everybody. Now, when you said that teams shouldn't have coaches. Well, I think community coaches that coach these orgs, I don't know what kind of coaching they do, but if they do any sort of coaching whatsoever, they're only doing about 15% of the coaching that needs to be done when you're in the 2K league. In SIBA, we do 100%. We do it all, right? You're working the waiver wire free. As a matter of fact, you have a more difficult time. There's 40 teams, and you have a commissioner like me that's going to not allow 14 trades to go down. I veto damn near everything, right? So you're, as a coach in our league, you're you really have to depend on your ability to scout players, right? In the 2K league, same thing. Not as serious as ours, but you got to scout players. You don't put it like this, and that's why I like having you on the show, because you understand how many of these orgs, or these teams, like a Spicy Boys or something. Yo, need a point guard for the rest of post draft. Hit my DMs, and then you get a whole slew of point guards hitting your DMs, and you get to pick it a little, whoever you want, right? That happens a lot, right?
Yeah.
A coach of a real organization can't do that. The Warriors Gaming can't go on Twitter or somewhere and say, "Yo, need a center for the rest of the season. Hit me up." They can't do that. You know what I'm saying? They got to go by their draft position is where it's at. Their assets to trade are where they at, right? And that's what they got to work with. That's it. And if they want to add players to the team, they're at the mercy of the other GMs, whether or not those GMs want to do business with them or not. It's not like a player can walk off the team. Like if you're a really good point guard and you're playing for an org that's not winning, right? And you'd be like, yo, I'm done with this team. Yo, free agent rest of post draft. And all of a sudden, Lazy, who runs Spicy Boys, who's a major org, right, who sent 3 players to the 2K league this year, hits you up like, yo, you want to go to the 2K league? I just brought J Bull and Dynasty and Tutot there. Come with us. They have the pick of the litter. Or someone like Joe No's got the pick of the litter. Everybody wants to play with him. So you can't, the 2K league, Benzo just can't walk off his team. And then the Mavs will be like, yo, come play with us. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are very, very restricted in what you can do. So you have to have more tools in your mental toolbox as a coach to compete at that level. And community coaches don't have to worry about like 90% of the things that a 2K league GM has to worry about. And when you bring a community coach in there, they're not going to be as savvy as these coaches that have been there a long time, right? They're not,
right.
So they're going to get their fucking ass handed to. Look how long it took that dude to win Coach of the Year. That dude's been coaching for a long ass time. He finally won it. He's got a 1 seed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a dude that had to work hard to get his team where it's at. He's had to really do his homework and learn from his failures and learn from his mistakes. And now he's Coach of the Year, and now he's a 1 seed in his conference on his side of the bracket. It's not supposed to be like. Listen, you can make me a coach of like that kid Ant can make me coach a zero gaming right now, and because of his brand and who he is, I'll have access to the top players in pre-draft. All of a sudden, I'm winning. I'm going to the LAN event in Vegas, and I reach a Final Four. Does that mean I'm a fucking coach that should be looked at for the 2K league? I just was given a spot where everybody's been playing. You had fucking Willow Sauce and you had fucking DJ play for that team, right? They won the big money a couple years ago. Like, I walk into that, someone makes me the coach of that, and I'm winning. Boom. Like, Lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, is he coaching the 2K league at fucking Tutok Dynasty? Yeah, he was able to scout those guys and bring those guys in, but he's not able to do it the same way if he was a 2K league coach. Now he's got to sit there and wait. Now, just like in SIBA, right? He's got to sit there and wait. All right, I picked 21st. Got to wait. Wanted him, he just went at 2. Wanted him, he just went at 10. Oh, shit. 18, the last point guard that I actually had on my fucking scouting list is gone at 18. Fuck. What do I do now? They don't have the luxury of just grabbing anybody they want. So that's why, I don't think community coaches are completely useless, but I don't think it's good training for the league, bro. I don't think they're getting the proper coaching training. Now, at 7 o'clock, Pest Support is supposed to start at 7 o'clock. I just messaged Pest. Hearn is actually in the chat. Are you guys ready to rock? Because if not, we'll all right, Pest, if you're ready to roll, me and Sav going to wrap this up, and we're going to end the stream, and they're going to jump on. Sav, take us out of here with something, bro. Give us your thoughts on the tournament. Who you got winning this whole thing, and why?
Yeah. Like I said before, I got Warriors game and winning it all. They have been dominating the entire season. Like I said, they won last season. Of course, you gotta get to the past champs to try to beat them. If it ain't Warriors gaming, winning it, then it's definitely gonna be Heat check game. But I definitely got Warriors game at the time.
So you're going for the 2 number 1 seeds. No surprise there.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so here we have, bro. Warriors Gaming, who pretty much bought their championship. I'm going to walk through the finals, bro. There you have it. All right, listen, till next time. I don't know when we're going to do the show again, but I thought it was pretty good. We had 70 viewers, 95, 69, 88, 95. Now we got 95. I think it was a pretty good reception. We should reconvene on this shit like maybe after the 2K League Championship's over. I'm going to actually be invested in watching a little bit of it. Maybe we'll get a guest on the show and shit like that. And by the way, guys, for all you guys that are listening right now, 2 things before we go. Number 1, stay tuned. As the pest report's coming up. You want those pest scores, this is the way to get it. You're not going to get anywhere else, number 1. Number 2, we know you clowns play in other leagues and SIBA. We know you guys can't stay off the fucking OVN crack. Just give me your results. Tell me what's going on in the overnights and shit. If you got a stream you want me to watch it, bro, I'll watch the VOD. I'll see how you guys did, and we'll talk about it. And we'll start doing our own lists. All right, yo, we're signing off. I'm Feach 23. That's C4 Sav, my man, coach of the 36 Chambers in SIBA. Major shout out to Pickles for not fucking this sausage and peppers up. We out.
I see ya.
All right, guys, stay tuned. Pest report coming up in just a few moments.